In this part, we will discuss the topic placenta. Placenta is a flattened discoidal organ present in the uterus of pregnant woman. It is temporary, structural and functional connection between fetal and mother circulation. Fully formed placenta weighs about 500 grams. So, formation of placenta begins from blastocyst. So, it begins developing from blastocyst shortly after implantation. And placenta fully developed, it is fully developed in about 11th week of pregnancy and remain throughout the pregnancy. So these are some important points in the placenta. So human placenta is flattened discoidal organ present in the uterus of pregnant woman. It is temporary, structural and functional connection between fetal and mother circulation. Placenta weighs about 500 grams and it begins developing from blastocyst shortly after implantation. It is fully developed in about 11th week of pregnancy and remain throughout the pregnancy. So placenta is only organ which is formed by tissues of two individuals. So placenta is formed from tissues of two individuals. That is fetal tissue and other part is maternal tissue. Fetal tissue and maternal tissue together form placenta. So fetal tissue which form placenta, that part is called as fetal part. It is called as fetal part, and the maternal tissue which is contributed in placenta is called as maternal part. It is called as maternal part. So fetal part which is present in the placenta is chorion, that is in the form of villi, so it is also called as chorionic villi. And maternal part which is present in the placenta is uterine wall. It is uterine wall. So with the help of diagram we will discuss structure of placenta. So this is so please write down all these points. So see, this is embryo and these are chorionic villi. This is embryo, these are chorionic villi. So these are chorionic villi. So this is fetal part. This is fetal part of placenta, and fetal placenta is formed from chorionic villi. See, so this is endometrium. This is endometrium, and beneath this endometrium muscular layer of uterus, that is myometrium, is present. So this is myometrium. So this is muscular layer and it is called as myometrium, and this is endometrium. So during implantation, chorionic villi penetrate into the endometrium, and chorionic villi secretes enzyme which digest endometrium. So chorionic villi are in direct contact with blood, maternal blood. So endometrium which is present here, see. So this is the part of endometrium which does not participate in formation of placenta. So this is called as parietal decidua. It is called as parietal decidua. So this part is called as decidua basalis. This is called as decidua parietalis, and part of endometrium which surround embryo, this is called as, so this is called as decidua capsularis. So see here, this is endometrium, but it does not take part in the formation of placenta. So this is called as decidua parietalis. Then endometrium which surround embryo is called as decidua capsularis, and this part which participate in the formation of placenta is called as decidua basalis. Decidua means pregnant uterus. So decidua basalis is the main part. So this is decidua basalis. It is main part which is contributed in the formation of placenta. And decidua capsularis is present between the embryo and lumen of the uterus. So here lumen of uterus present, and this is the lumen of uterus and this is the embryo. So this decidua capsularis is present. Decidua capsularis is present between the embryo and lumen of uterus. So this fetus is connected to placenta by means of umbilical cord. By means of umbilical cord. Fetus is connected to by means of a cord-like structure that is called as umbilical cord, which is 20 to 24 inches long, and it consists of 3 blood vessels. It consists of 3 blood vessels. So if this is embryo, if this is an embryo, then this is called as umbilical cord. This is umbilical cord, and umbilical cord, this is placenta. This structure is placenta. So embryo, so this is a fetus. Now fetus is connected to placenta by means of this umbilical cord. So this is umbilical cord, and umbilical cord consists of 3 blood vessels. Umbilical cord is 22 to 24 inches long. It consists of 3 blood vessels. Out of these 3 blood vessels, 2 are small arteries and 1 large vein. Umbilical cord consists of 3 blood vessels. Out of these 3 blood vessels, 2 are small arteries and 1 is large vein. So 2 small arteries which are present in the umbilical cord carry blood from fetus to placenta. So these 2 small arteries carry blood from fetus to placenta, and 1 large vein which is present in the umbilical cord returns blood from placenta to fetus. So this is very important point. Umbilical cord consists of 3 blood vessels. Out of 3 blood vessels, 2 are small arteries and 1 is large vein. 2 small arteries carry blood from fetus to placenta, and 1 large vein returns blood from placenta to fetus. Now we will discuss the functions of placenta. So another part of our discussion is functions of placenta. So placenta is a temporary organ. Functions of placenta. First function, supply of nutrients or nourishment. So placenta help supply of nutrients to fetus. So placenta help in transport of nutrients to fetus. Number 2, gaseous exchange. So gaseous exchange takes place through placenta. So oxygen is supplied to fetus from placenta, and the carbon dioxide which is formed in fetus is carried to placenta, is transported to placenta. So in this way, oxygen is transported from placenta to fetus and carbon dioxide is transported from fetus to placenta. So gaseous exchange takes place through placenta. Third point, placenta acts as a barrier. It acts as a barrier. But there are some material, some drugs, some pathogens which crosses placenta and enter into the fetus, and that drugs and pathogens are called as transplacental. Though this placenta acts as a barrier, it prevents entry of harmful material to fetus, but some material, some substances are there which can cross the placenta, and that substances are called as transplacental. For example, drugs and pathogens can cross the placenta and enter into the fetus from mother blood circulation through placenta to the fetus. So drugs which can cross the placenta, that drugs are heroin, cocaine, etc. Nicotine can also cross the placenta, and the example of pathogen which can cross the placenta is HIV. But now there are some drugs, there are some medicines are available which can prevent the entry of HIV to fetus. HIV means human immunodeficiency virus. So this virus, if mother is infected from HIV and that mother is pregnant, then HIV from mother blood circulation can enter into the fetal blood circulation through the placenta. But now medicines are available, and that medicines prevent the entry of HIV from mother's blood to the fetus. Next. So there are some substances, when that substances cross the placenta, that will cause some deformities in the fetus, and that substances are called as teratogens. That substances are called as teratogens. So this is important terminology, teratogens. So teratogens are those substances, when that substances cross the placenta and enter into the fetus, they can cause deformities to the fetus, and that substances are called as teratogens. For example, mercury. Mercury was the metal, it is a heavy metal, and it crossed placenta and it caused Minamata disease. It caused Minamata disease. Then next point, that is next function of placenta. Placenta act as a endocrine structure. So placenta secretes some hormones, and that hormones are estrogen, then progesterone. So sorry, I will write here. So we are discussing functions of placenta. Next function, that is the fourth function of placenta, is placenta act as a endocrine structure. and placenta secretes some hormones, and that hormones are estrogen, progesterone, then human chorionic gonadotropin, gonadotropins, that is HCG, and human chorionic lactogens. So these are the hormones which are secreted by placenta. So these hormones are essential for development of fetus and for maintenance of pregnancy. So progesterone, this hormone is secreted by corpus luteum, but after the third trimester corpus luteum degenerate and placenta is fully formed, and placenta start the secretion of progesterone, and progesterone is called as pregnancy maintaining hormone because it maintains pregnancy. Next function of placenta is placenta helps in removal of nitrogenous waste from fetus. So in this way we have completed the structure of placenta, functions of placenta. In case of placenta, some terminologies are used, such are: number 1, placenta is metadiscoidal, it is chorionic and hemochorial, and it is hemochorial. So human placenta is metadiscoidal, chorionic and hemochorial. So we will explain these three terminologies which are used in case of human placenta. Human placenta is metadiscoidal, means at the time of implantation, when this embryo implanted in endometrium of uterus, then at the time of implantation such type of villi are formed everywhere in the embryo. But after that such structure is formed and these chorionic villi are restricted only this region. So it is called as metadiscoidal. Human placenta is chorionic. Chorionic means the fetal part which take part in the formation of placenta is called as chorion. So this is chorion. It is in the form of villi and hence it is also called as chorionic villi. Next is hemochorial. Hemo means blood and chorial means chorion. So this is chorion. It is the fetal part of placenta, and this is uterine wall, and it is richly supplied with blood vessels. So it is rich in blood circulation, and this chorionic villi directly dip into the blood of mother, and hence it is called as hemo. Hemo means blood and chorial means chorion. So chorion is in blood of mother and hence it is called as hemochorial. So in this way we have completed the topic placenta. One more point is remaining in the function of placenta, and that is antibodies, IgG, immunoglobulin, IgG, that is immunoglobulin G. These are immunoglobulin G. These are the antibodies which can cross placenta. So these antibodies from mother's blood circulation enter into the fetus through placenta, and these antibodies provide passive immunity to baby after birth. So this is very important point.